Welcome to World Knowledge Channel. Ladies and gentlemen, in any relationship, communication always plays an important role. But sometimes the power of silence can surpass 1,000 words. Have you ever wondered why many women choose to be silent in stressful moments? It's not because they have nothing to say, but because they understand that sometimes a moment of silence can bring about deeper changes than hundreds of chatter. Especially for men, women's silence can create feelings of insecurity, making them question their own actions and concerns. Let's explore an interesting example from reality. There is a guy in my company who always likes to chat around with new girls. Every time he went out, he kept glancing around, praising this girl for her beauty, that girl for her charm, and that made his wife jealous and nagging him non-stop. After accidentally discovering her husband's ambiguous conversation with another girl, he expected a storm of anger to come from his wife. However, surprisingly, his wife chose to remain silent. Day after day, without a single reproach or argument. Her silence became longer and longer, making him feel suffocated and confused. Instead of being angry with his wife, he felt more afraid than ever, no longer being easygoing in arguments, but feeling worried about the future of their relationship. It was then that he realized that his wife's silence was not acceptance, but a strong reminder of the responsibility and love that he had unintentionally overlooked. Let's explore the powerful moments of silence of women. The times when silence is not just a reaction but also a smart strategy to create change and enhance one's own value in the relationship. 1. That is women's silence to be respected. Women do not say unnecessary words. Do not let men take their words lightly. They know what to say, when to say it, when to be silent, when knowing that the husband is upset, tired, pressured by dozens of work, social, and friends out there. He may care less about his wife, be lazy to share housework with his wife, but the wife will know how to understand and be silent, giving him private space to think. This silence is not patience. It is cleverness, patience, tactfulness and wisdom. It is respect for the husband, and also a way to make the husband respect her. Women are silent not because they are weak or patient, but because they understand the power of words and the value of patience. They do not say unnecessary words. Do not let impulsive emotions overshadow their wisdom. In times of stress, when their husbands are under pressure from work, society, or life, they choose to be silent, not to endure, but to give their men their own space. This silence carries respect for their husbands, helping them feel the understanding and respect from their wives. This is how smart women maintain their relationships and make their husbands admire and respect them. Maria is an intelligent and sophisticated woman. She married Alex, a man who is busy with his business. In the early days of their marriage, their life was filled with happiness and laughter. However, gradually, Alex's work pressure became greater and greater, making him stressed and tired. He rarely shared with Maria like before, often came home late, sometimes even forgot the meals that she had prepared for him. Maria felt sad and hurt, but instead of blaming or arguing, she chose to remain silent. She understood that at this time, words would not solve the problem. She still took care of the family, still gave gentle attention to her husband but did not try to impose or put more pressure on him. When she saw that he came home late and did not want to talk, she just smiled and gave him his own space to relieve himself. One night, Alex returned home in a heavy mood. Seeing Maria quietly sitting reading a book, without a single complaint, he suddenly felt guilty. He realized that all this time, she had always been by his side, listening, understanding and respecting him without saying anything. It was her silence and patience that made him realize the value of the relationship and the love that his wife had given him. After dinner, Alex gently sat down next to Maria and began to share his difficulties at work. She listened, did not interrupt, did not judge, simply stayed by his side, so he could confide everything. Thanks to that, his tension was gradually relieved, and they became close and connected again like before. Maria knew when to speak and when to be silent. It was not endurance, but a way for her to maintain respect and love from her husband. Silence, for her, was a way to show understanding and also a method to make her husband respect and admire her more. 2. Women's silence to show pride. When the heart is most painful, most desperate, hurt to the point of numbness, unbearable suppression, then leaving is the ultimate pride. We can see, no need to cry loudly, no need to scream and curse. Wise women choose to end a relationship by choosing silence. Silence is not resignation, humility, acceptance of hurt, but leaving with a mindset that is not that of someone abandoned or betrayed. Emma, a woman who was once full of dreams and hopes. She received a scholarship to study abroad in England. But one day, while packing her luggage, she discovered that she was pregnant. Instead of flying to the foggy land, she decided to stay to build a home and hope for a bright future. In the early days of marriage, Emma had to face dozens of problems such as taking care of children, cooking, and cleaning. However, after only 1 year of marriage, she discovered that her husband, Jake, was having an affair with her boss's daughter. The pain was like a knife cutting into her heart. She was jealous, crying and crazy like a tragic movie. However, instead of continuing to cry, Emma decided to play the role of a silent woman. People around her saw her smiling all the time, but inside she was making plans. One day, when Jake said, "Don't be sad, I still love you," she smiled and replied, "Oh, it's okay, I'm just secretly loving our bed more." 2 years later, their relationship got worse. Jake openly announced his affair without any restraint. However, Emma did not complain, but still took care of her children and decided to reform her life. One day, she went to the hair salon and changed from a gentle mother to a charming lady. So much so that when she came out, some people thought she was a movie star. She stood before her husband and said, "Get a divorce." Jake asked in surprise. "Why?" She replied, "Because I don't want to live in a bad comedy anymore. I want to live for real. Have a new script for my life." Finally, Emma found a new job and lived the life she deserved. With a satisfied smile, she thought, "It's true that there are times when silence is golden. But there are also times when you need to let others know that you are not an easy girl to bully." If you have followed this far, please leave a comment. I want happiness. That you will give us more motivation to make more meaningful videos. If you haven't liked the video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel to support. We will give you a heart. Thank you very much. 3. And finally, women stay silent to leave at the right time. This is the limit of silence for women who have run out of love. When they are most painful and desperate, women are silent. Sometimes men think they have become more understanding. They have stopped complaining and are no longer annoying. But men do not understand. When women become content and restrained, it is the moment when they are about to lose them. When women are out of love, they will not have to cry loudly, scream and curse. They understand that the only thing they can do at this time is to end the relationship and be strong. Everything else has no meaning anymore. This silence is the final ending. The last pride of women. They are silent to leave without shame, without the mentality of being abandoned and betrayed. But women, remember that being silent and listening does not mean being resigned, being humble, or letting the other person hurt you. For smart women, if they stay silent and let others look down on them, it is dead silence. The boundary for the level of silence of smart women is equal to the respect they receive. Women remain silent not because they are resigned or patient, but because it is their way of showing their ultimate strength and pride. When love has run out, pain and despair prevail. Women no longer scream or complain. They choose to leave in silence, not as abandoned people but as the masters of their own lives. Men sometimes do not realize that silence is a sign that they are about to lose the woman who once loved them so much. Silence, for smart women, is the limit of respect they have for others and also for themselves. They will not remain silent forever if it only hurts them. Once that silence exceeds the limit, they will leave, not because they are weak but because they understand their value. Women's silence is not simply not speaking, but behind it is intelligence, strength and subtle control of the situation. When women choose to be silent at the right time, this can make men question, reflect on their actions and words and realize the things they have overlooked. Men fear that silence because it is not easy to deal with, and at the same time shows the inner power of women. Sometimes, it is in that silence that women send strong and powerful messages. This is not weakness or avoidance, but the way they maintain their self-esteem and let men understand the true value of the relationship. Which part of a man's body attracts women the most? Let's find out. Which part of a man's body attracts women the most? Let's find out. An interesting survey conducted in the US with the participation of more than 100 women asked this question. The results were surprising. The little guy was not on the list of body parts that women were most interested in. Instead, there are other parts that capture the hearts of women. Let's find out which parts they are and why they are so attractive. 3. Biceps. Biceps are one of the first body parts that women make eye contact with on a man's body. Men with big biceps, especially when wearing tank tops, are always the center of attention for women. Biceps not only show strength but also show masculinity. The majority of women in the survey also affirmed that they like to lean their heads on strong arms and like to be lifted up by those arms. Therefore, men should pay attention to their biceps by going to the gym. Biceps are one of the first body parts that women make eye contact with on a man's body. Biceps are a symbol of strength and masculinity, attracting the attention of women at first sight. For many women, big and toned biceps not only bring a sense of security but also show a man's confidence. Taking care of and training your biceps not only improves your health but also helps men make a stronger impression in the eyes of others. Take the time to exercise and take care of yourself, because such small details can make a big difference in the eyes of women. 1. Buttocks. Women admit that they like looking at men's buttocks, especially the fuller the buttocks, the more burning their eyes. Buttocks are one of the parts that attract women's attention, with beauty and attractiveness coming from fullness and firmness. The perfect buttocks not only make men more masculine but also create a more attractive feeling in the eyes of women. While Chris Hemsworth is admired by many for this model, it is important that every man can improve his body. Taking care of yourself scientifically not only brings health benefits but also helps create a strong impression in the eyes of others. 2. Hands. Why are men's hands attractive to women? Women especially like men with big, thick and warm hands because it gives them a feeling of safety and protection. On the other hand, clean hands are also an important criterion for women to score. They judge a man's personality through his hands, clean or dirty. Therefore, you should always keep your hands clean and your nails neatly trimmed if you want to attract the attention of a girl. Did you know that hands are also a part of the body that is included in the criteria for evaluating a man's appearance? Men's hands are not just a part of the body but also have a profound meaning in expressing strength and sophistication. Women are often attracted to big, warm and clean hands because they evoke a feeling of safety and protection. To score points in the eyes of women, taking care of your hands and neat nails is essential. Remember, a pair of beautiful hands can say a lot about a man's personality and thoughtfulness. 4. Chest. Just like men, women also love a man with a full chest. But instead of going shirtless to show off your body, you should wear a shirt because they prefer to see them under a t-shirt or sweater. If women have many ways to enhance their bust, men have only one way. Go to the gym. Sign up for a gym course right away when you know the benefits of a firm chest. Hugh, a guy whose broad shoulders earned him endless compliments from his friends, always prided himself on his physique, believing his shoulders were his ultimate charm weapon to attract women. One day, during a party, he decided to show off his muscles by wearing a sleeveless shirt. As he walked into the room, several girls couldn't help but stare and whisper to each other. Feeling confident, Hugh approached a beautiful girl and struck up a conversation. He said, "You know, my shoulders are really strong. Would you like to lean on them?" The girl chuckled and replied, "Sure, but I might need a pillow, because it could get uncomfortable." Hugh, not catching her drift, just smiled awkwardly. Moments later, when the girl actually leaned against his shoulder, Hugh felt a surge of happiness and pride. But suddenly, he realized she wasn't just lightweight, she was a bit hefty. Panic set in as he exclaimed, "Whoa, my shoulders aren't a pillow." They both burst into laughter. In that moment, Hugh learned a valuable lesson. While broad shoulders can be a plus, they aren't always enough to rescue him from a hilariously awkward situation. The firm chest muscles hidden under the shirt bring a mysterious attraction. 5. Shoulders. If asked which body part makes people think of the stability and dependence of women on their men, the answer is mostly the shoulders. A broad shoulder always attracts women. I like to look at my lover's shoulders. Every time I touch his shoulder, I feel extremely excited. Therefore, the shoulder is ranked 5th in the most attractive parts of men. Thus, we can see that the attractiveness of men does not only lie in the obvious parts such as the face, eyes, muscles or smile are the factors that attract women. And this shows that confidence and self-care also play an important role in making an impression. Understanding what women really like will help men be more confident in expressing themselves. Remember, attractiveness does not only come from the external appearance but also from personality and the way you interact with others. If you find the video useful, please share it with more people, as well as subscribe to the channel. Like it, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. Hello and see you in the next video.